Hey there, guys. I'm John Campea. Thanks for visiting my movie vlog. Now, every day on my show, The John Campea Show, I take a bunch of emails, topics, and questions from my viewers, but once in a while, a topic or question comes in that I like to address just on its own, like this one that came in from my viewer, Adam Paul, who wrote, "Hey, John, big fan since the movie blog days." Thanks so much, Adam. "Like you, I love a quality kids movie, i.e. Paddington, Coco. I really enjoyed the Peanuts movie from 2015, and ever since then, I've been wondering, where's my Calvin and Hobbes movie? Your thoughts, and thanks for all you do, sir." Well, thanks a lot for the question, Adam, and you bring up something that is incredibly dear to my heart when you mention Calvin and Hobbes. You know, all film, all art is subjective. Absolutely it is. But I will argue with anybody till I am blue in the face. Calvin and Hobbes is simply the greatest comic strip of all time. There's something that the creator Bill Watterson captured that has just never been before or since captured. It's this idea of this whimsical magic about Calvin and Hobbes. The innocence, the creativity, the imagination, the thought provocation. I mean, everything about this comic strip was so far ahead of its time. It was almost like each strip that he wrote and made with these two incredible characters was almost like a movie experience in and of itself. Like you just couldn't wait to sit down and read the next one. And you know, oftentimes when I'm asked, "Hey John, what was the best finish to a movie series?" or "What was the best finish to a television series?" I always say that the best conclusion ever was Star Trek: The Next Generation, with the conclusion of their two-parter, All Good Things. I've always said that's like the best series finale ever. But if you want to expand that just beyond TV and movies, the best series finish of all time is probably Calvin and Hobbes. When in the very last comic strip, we see Calvin and Hobbes out on a winter's day with a toboggan, and they're standing there admiring the creation and everything that's out there, and it ends with the two of them on the sled together, barreling down the hill with the words Calvin exclaiming, "Let's go exploring." I'm not kidding. I'm actually getting chills just remembering that damn piece of art. So the question is, with a property that is so popular and so wonderful and so marketable, why have we never seen a Calvin and Hobbes movie or a Calvin and Hobbes TV show, or for heaven's sakes, even Calvin and Hobbes t-shirts? When you look around, there is no licensed piece of Calvin and Hobbes merchandise anywhere. Why is that? Well, it goes back to the creator, Bill Watterson. Now, in a couple of interviews a few years ago, Bill Watterson kind of shed some light on why he's never licensed out Calvin and Hobbes when he said the following: "Licensing isn't consistent with what I'm trying to do with Calvin and Hobbes. This isn't a gag strip. The humor is situational and often episodic. It relies on conversation and the development of personalities and relationships. To explore character, you need lots of time and space. Notepads and coffee mugs just aren't appropriate vehicles for what I'm trying to do here. I think to license Calvin and Hobbes would ruin the most precious qualities of my strip, and once that happens, you can't buy those qualities back. I'm convinced that licensing would sell out the soul of Calvin and Hobbes. Once you've given up its integrity, that's it. I want to make sure that never happens." So basically, in asking the question, where's the Calvin and Hobbes movie? Well, it's that the creator of Calvin and Hobbes doesn't want there to be one. As a matter of fact, he doesn't want there to be notepads or coffee mugs or t-shirts. As a matter of fact, anytime you see anything with the image of Calvin and Hobbes on it, it's pirated. It's illegal. Even those little stickers you see on pickup trucks with Calvin peeing on something or even Calvin praying to something, that's pirated imagery. It's completely illegal. It's unlicensed. And to be honest with you, I'm a little bit torn over my feelings on this. On the one hand, damn, you can't help but admire the integrity of the creator here. He could have cashed in for millions and millions, and who knows, maybe even billions of dollars by this point, had he licensed all the Calvin and Hobbes stuff, had he allowed merchandising, had he allowed new strips, had he allowed new TV shows or movies. He could have been rolling in the billions. But to him, the integrity of Calvin and Hobbes was the most important thing to him. It remains to this day the most important thing to him, and that's why he keeps it all close to the vest. And you cannot help but admire that. That's something that not many people would do when offered the opportunity to cash in for huge checks for their created artwork, and there's nothing wrong with that. But to deny himself a huge lucrative payday over and over and over again for the integrity of his work, that's some kind of man right there. Now, on the flip side of that coin, there's also a piece of me that feels a little bit uneasy about it. Here's a great example. Take J.K. Rowling, right? The creator of the Harry Potter franchise. She could have just kept all the Harry Potter stuff to herself. That's just the books. That's all there is. But the other day, I was at Universal Studios Hollywood, and they've opened up a Harry Potter land there. And I'm not a huge Potter fan myself, but as you walk through Harry Potter land, on the one, I can't help but be amazed and impressed and really feel like I've been taken into the world of Harry Potter. But here's the more important thing. When I'm there, it's always crowded with families and kids and children dressed up in their Harry Potter capes with their Harry Potter wands, and the look of amazement and wonder on their faces as they walk through this Harry Potter land, looking up at Hogwarts School, walking through the streets, having butterbeer. It's just bringing them so much joy, and it brings them so much happiness. And had JK adopted the same philosophy of never allowing anything that she's created to be merchandised, these kids would be robbed of that. And while JK has allowed the sale of Harry Potter t-shirts and wands and mugs and all other types of things, and even building a land at Universal Studios, she's never actually sold out the soul of Harry Potter. I think there probably is a happy middle ground here where a creator like Bill Watterson, with all of his integrity, can allow something to exist without it selling out the soul. My biggest fear here is that there's a whole new generation and generations of children that are being deprived of the magic of Calvin and Hobbes. Look, JK never sold out the soul of Potter. I don't think that Watterson has to necessarily sell out Calvin and Hobbes in order to, at the same time, introduce it and bring it to a whole new generation of people to read it, see it, listen to it, experience it, and grow from it. Or maybe I'm just being a selfish bastard because deep down I just want more Calvin and Hobbes. So the bottom line here is, until that day comes when Bill Watterson decides that maybe it's time to open up the door and allow new expressions of Calvin and Hobbes to exist through licensing that he can very much well control, we're not going to get a Calvin and Hobbes movie. We're not going to get a Calvin and Hobbes television show. We're not going to get any more Calvin and Hobbes strips. And that's really unfortunate. I think there's a new generation that would love and could really benefit from the magic of what Bill Waters created in Calvin and Hobbes, provided Bill keeps a little bit of a tight rein on it. So like I said, I have two thoughts on this. I admire the integrity, but I kind of think he should let it go a little bit. What do you guys think? Do you admire Bill Watterson for wanting to maintain the integrity of Calvin and Hobbes, but at the same time, maybe do you think he should loosen up a little bit to allow new expressions of it? Do you think things should change completely? Do you think things should stay exactly the way they are? Jump down in the comments section and let me know what you guys think. Listen, guys, while you're here, why don't you take a second, click on that subscribe button, become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. Make sure you follow me on social media, simply at John Campea. That'll do it for me, guys. My name's John Campea, and until my next video, bye-bye.